Welcome to the Sovereignty Health and Wellness Center channel. In 320, I started talking about how calorie reduction, or eating just a little bit less, can help with weight management. So a little calorie reduction, especially when you're on the high end of what's optimal for you, can help. But more extreme restriction can cross a threshold where a conservative survival mechanism kicks in. Then our metabolism slows down and we feel heavier. This makes it harder to keep up with our exercise routine and resist cravings. But right now, let's talk about the popular low-carb, high-fat ketogenic diet. If you haven't tried it, I'm sure you've heard of it. Ultimately, with this diet, we make a dramatic shift from using glucose to fuel our brains and muscles and other biological processes to running on ketones, which is a replacement fuel we can derive from our fat when we restrict sugar consumption. We can successfully lose a lot of extra weight this way. The big challenge for many of us is just how different it is from how most of us are used to eating. This can make it hard sometimes to keep up in social eating with all the temptation, but we can manage that, right? It's harder for some of us than others, but it's popular and a lot of people are making it work for them. I've noticed that one of the bigger challenges with this is staying consistent with taking in a low enough proportion of carbs to stay in ketogenesis. That is the alternative mode where we are burning fat instead of the absent glucose. A slight restriction of sugar or just trying some keto recipes isn't enough to achieve ketogenesis. So you have to be all in to gain the potential benefits. The hard part for some of us seems to be going in and out of keto, especially for the brain, which is used to running on a lot of sugar. Our brain is about 2% of our total weight, but uses about 20% of our glucose. When there isn't enough glucose available for it to run exclusively on glucose, the body begins to convert fat into ketones, which the body can use in place of glucose. That all sounds like a great system for survival, but it doesn't change over with the immediate click of a switch. Though some people report not having much of an issue with this, others feel very strange as the brain switches its fuel source, so they may feel foggy, forgetful, or unclear. Others have described even worse, like anxiety, depression, insomnia, and uncontrollable cravings leading to bingings, and that can all lead to disappointment in ourselves. Don't get me wrong though, people make it work for them sustainably. But the other thing to keep in mind is just how different we are. If keto seems too difficult and uncomfortable to you, don't tell yourself you're a failure or think this is the only way to achieve your goals because it works for someone else. Reach out to me and follow this show because we can find methods that work for you. If you are going to explore keto, it is important to be consistent over an extended duration. I've known several people who see the merits of keto, but allow themselves too many cheats and exceptions. Transitioning between fuel sources is harder on some of us than others. Some people will also hover just outside of ketosis, making their efforts feel like more of a struggle than they need to be. Things like discipline and the ability to delay gratification and force ourselves to do things against great resistance are a lot harder for some of us. And if you're not one of them, I have mad respect for you, your discipline. Most things can also get easier over time. But I also have mad respect for anyone who is struggling to take care of themselves and improve their health. I can help you find something that works for you, whether it's keto or something else. It's just not the only way. And please share with anyone you care about who could use help perfecting the art of living. Cheers.